I'm back here thinking of T words.
Me too. Trying to think of stuff for Tuesdays.
Torture Tuesday.
Yeah, Taco Tuesday is always a good thing too. But we're not gonna have tacos in here, so.
Why not?
Okay. You wanna bring in tacos?
Me personally, no, I'm lazy. But if you'd like to bring in tacos and share them with me, I'll eat them. You have a test on Thursday. Listen again. You have a test on Thursday. Your quiz that I handed back once you came back from winter break, holiday, whatever we want to call it, all of that will be on your test. Those of you who did not have me first semester got a copy of that test for you to review and say, man, I know all of this, or man, I don't know all of this, and you should have come in for help. If not, I'm available in the mornings. Mrs. Armstrong is available sometimes in the mornings. We're available at lunch. Mrs. Armstrong is available today after school?
No.
No. Mrs. Armstrong is not available today after school. She lied.
And liar Tuesday.
Huh?
Liar kids on Liar Tuesday.
You're striking out. No, you're not allowed to offer any suggestions anymore. I will be here tomorrow morning. Remember, tomorrow we don't have class. You go into the computer lab for guidance day, and I think we're working on scheduling. Is that correct, Mrs. Armstrong? For next year. And for 4 years, I think. Like to talk about plans for, like in 8th grade, you're going to get planned out what your next 4 years are going to look like. No? They should.
They're going to have to, but
It doesn't.
It's not as scary as you think.
I'm not. What in my voice made it sound scary?
The sarcasm you
Plan for the next 4 years.
Plan for the next 4 years. Writing linear equations. Part D. There are only two different types of linear equations that we will graph or that we'll write today. And you saw some of these on your homework last night, even though we didn't talk about them. The first one is when slope is 0. The second one is when, that's a funky W, when slope is undefined. Tantalizing, terrific Tuesday. Ooh. You didn't like that one?
What's that?
Huh?
You told me I couldn't participate anymore.
Well, you weren't even doing T words. When slope is 0. Which direction will the line, the graph of the equation have to go? Give me good mathematical language. If I graphed a line knowing that my slope is 0, which direction will my line have to go? Give me good mathematical.
It's vertical, right?
Vertical is a good mathematical word, but it won't be vertical. It will be horizontal.
What?
I know. You were just testing me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Smith, you know what? I'm still proud of you. Don't sing it?
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm very, 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 very proud of you.
I love it. Guys, it makes my heart fill with joy because it's, again, I remember sitting in my recliner chair with my mom, like, holding me at, like, 18, and her singing that to me. So, when slope is 0, B said, hey, the graph's going to be horizontal. So there's two things that we always need to find when we're graphing. We need to find my M, we need to find my B. M is my slope, B is my y-intercept. Very easy to find the y-intercept here because it's up 1, 2, 3. My y-intercept is 3. When the graph is horizontal, immediately, if it's going directly left to right, that's what horizontal is, my slope is 0. We know that we have to write this as y equals mx plus b. Well, let's substitute in y equals 0x plus 3. And Jackson said, well, can't I leave it like that? No, mathematics says 0 times anything is 0. So that's 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. So the correct way to write this is y equals 3. Anytime there is a horizontal line, listen again, anytime there is a horizontal line, horizontal, left to right, you will have just a y equals a constant. Notice, it's only intersecting the y-axis. It does not intersect the x-axis. Questions there? This is kind of easy to remember because we can find the slope, we can find the y-intercept. When slope is undefined though, x, y, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, row. What direction does the line of a graph go for undefined? Jackson. Vertical, which is up and down. Hope I drew this nicely. Here are the questions you need to ask yourself. Brooklyn, and I'm gonna ask Brooklyn. Brooklyn's gonna be myself. Brooklyn, does it cross the y-axis at all? No. So, do I have a y-intercept? No. If the graph is going up and down, what's my slope? Undefined. So we have an undefined slope and we have no y-intercept. We cannot keep it in slope-intercept form because to have slope-intercept form, we need two things. We need slope and y-intercept. But we have neither of those. So when we have a vertical line, you are going to immediately go x equals. Because it's only crossing the x. Where is it crossing the x at, Bianca?
-2.
That is an equation for this vertical line. That's it. You have two other options. If it's horizontal, it's going to be y equals a constant. If the line is vertical, it will be x equals a constant. Is that tough? I mean, it's a memorization thing. I could throw example after example after example after example up at you, but it's memorization. When slope is 0, you're going to have y equals a number. That's it. Y equals one number. When the slope is undefined, which is vertical, you're going to have x equals a number. I can't give you any more. Again, I could give you examples. You're either going to memorize it or you're not. So let's move on a little bit. Test stuff. Got to keep my street cred. Stuff. Phone. PH is a F sound sometimes. It's phonetics.
Shut up. Is what that says.
Stuff.
Put it in Google Translate. Have it speak it out.
Stuff.
There should be a C between the S and the H.
There should be a C between the S and the H.
Stuff.
You son of a bitch. morning is Mathematical Language Tuesday.
To your string thread.
That's exactly how you said it, with that little wiggle too.
Yep, that's exactly how I did.
Test review. What will be on the test? I would absolutely write this down. I would absolutely write this down. 1. You will have to know slope. Well, what types of things will we have to know about slope? First one is rise over run. Up and down, to the right. To find rise over run, we are using counting. You will need to know that for your exam. 100-point test, happening on Thursday. Second way that you will need to know slope is from 2 points. What is the formula that we will use to find slope from 2 points? Because you have to have it memorized. Emma.
Y2 minus Y1 divided by X2 minus X1.
Very good. Notice she used the word divided by. This is the correct formula. I've asked you to do something a little bit different for it. It's the same exact thing, but I've asked you to put your Y2, Y1 in parentheses divided by your X2 in parentheses minus X1 in parentheses. That just helps us make sure that we know that our minus signs are going to stay there. The third way that you will find slope. What do you think? How else are we going to find slope?
Graphing?
Well, that's from the rise over run. What else did we find slope?
What's the other form that we used?
Maddie?
Slope-intercept form.
Very good. Slope-intercept form. You are going to find slope from slope-intercept form, which means it needs to be y equals mx plus b. Still with me there? I hope that we have this copied down, because I'm going to erase this now. Okay? So that's all one part that we need, is slope. Okay? Slope is the first thing that will be tested on the test, that I test you on Thursday with the test. And I'm looking to be proud of you. So very, 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 very proud of you. Number 2. I'm going to test you on slope-intercept form. What do I mean when I say I'm going to test you on slope-intercept form? Well, I may give you 5x minus 12y equals 36. And say, write this equation in slope-intercept form. That means we are going to isolate the y. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. 5x minus 5x is 0. Negative 12y, come on down. Negative 5x, positive 36. Divide by negative 12. Divide each individual thing by negative 12. Negative divided by a negative is positive. 12 divided by 12 is 1. 1 what? 1 y. Negative divided by a negative is positive x. Positive divided by negative is negative 3. That's in slope-intercept form. Questions there? You will need to know how to put it into slope-intercept form. Why? Because the third thing that I'm going to test you on, anybody want to take a wild guess? What do you think we're going to have to do next? Mrs. Armstrong's got it. Sammy?
Rise over 1.
No? B?
Oh, we would do one.
Well, we already did that.
Starts with the letter G.
Graphing.
Graphing. You're going to have to graph. And I'm going to give you some that start off in y equals mx plus b. I'm also going to give you some that start off as ax plus by equals c, where you have to solve for y. Okay, this is again, we've talked about it, this is standard form. So you have to go from standard form back up to slope-intercept form. It's tough to graph because we haven't talked about x-intercepts or y-intercepts, haven't done any of that to graph b the way that it's written. Questions so far? Last but not least, what's the last thing that we're going to have to do? I mean, it's the last thing we just did. It's physically what we just did. What? Look at your notes. It says pardon.
Starts with a W.
Mason! What did we just do?
Writing the linear equation.
Yeah. Write the equation from a graph. Those are the 4 things that will be on your test. If you are having trouble with any of those 4 things, you should come in and get some help. Questions? Beep.